Okay. So due to this distributed streams or D streams, the Spark processing engine is able to process, operate on those streams, those smaller pieces of data, allowing rapid insights into the data and subsequent actions. So due to this instant feedback capability, the Spark is becoming an important component in which the IoT deployments can be happening. Systems that control safety is becoming an important role, and the security of the is important component in many IoT systems. So systems that control safety and security of personal, time sensitive and process of manufacturing space and infrastructure, control the total traffic management, all benefits are goes to the time streaming capabilities. So here the total Apache Spark, if I am going to consider, this is basically, it is a processing unit where as part of that is where that in-memory operations, so the latency is going to get reduces. That is a major advantage of this Spark, Apache Spark. Now let me say about this okay, Apache Storm and Apache Flink. So these are the another two distributed nature of applications where Hadoop is going to be used as a distributed nature, and big data analytic tool it is going to be. So here this Apache Storm and Apache Flinks are going to be used. So Apache Spark is often basically used for both the distributed streaming analysis and batch processing systems. But here this Apache Storm and Apache Flink are handling, that is a Hadoop ecosystem projects designed for distributed stream processing and are commonly deployed for the IoT applications. So Storm can pull the data from the Kafka and processes it in the real-time fashion. See, it is same as almost it is also the Flink also does the same thing. Okay, now let me explain about the Lambda architecture, where that is going to be used for the key elements of this architecture, that is data infrastructure to support the many IoT use cases, which involves the collection, processing and storage of data using multiple technologies, queuing both the data and that is in motion, that is streaming, and the data at rest, that is nothing but a batch processing, which requires a combination of both. On the Hadoop ecosystems, it is possible. Already we have been discussed about that. One architecture it is that is called as Lambda architecture, that is basically used for the combination of both the streaming as well as batch processing processes. Here in the Lambda is a data management system that is consisting of two layers, which it is being shown in this here. It's two layers. One is a streaming layer and another is a batch layer. Okay, so these two layers are ingesting the data, that is providing the data, And another layer we can say, that is called as a serving layer, which is going to give the output. So these layers allows the packages already which have been discussed, that is a Spark and MapReduce, so which operates on the data independently and focusing on the key attributes of for which they are designed and is optimized. Data is taken from the message broker, that is Kafka, message broker, that is Kafka, and processed by each layer, that is stream layer and batch layer parallelly, and the resulting data is delivered to the data store for further processing. Here the queries are going to be processed. Now let me explain about each layer. That is, the first layer is a stream layer. So this layer, it is going to produce, this layer is going to be the responsible for near real-time processing events. Stream layer is used for near real-time processing events. The technology used for such operations are Spark streaming, Storm and Flink. These are used to quickly respond, process and analyze the data on that particular layer. So whenever that data is altered, and automated actions are going to be taken immediately on the events that requires for this particular operations. Hence it's called as streaming operations. Next is a batch operation or batch layer, we can say. So here the data is going to be stored. If at all it is required, it is going to be asked by the user. That time it is going to be processed by using Hadoop ecosystem, where we are using this MVP as well as NoSQL or data warehouses. Third layer is a serving layer. This serving layer is a data store and a mediator between the two layers, that is stream layer as well as batch layer. This will decide which of the ingest layer to query based on the expected result or view into the data. So here if it is going to be suggested immediately, so at that time it should be queried through a stream layer. If it is going to be a processing is going to be required for that, then at the time the history of that it is going to be required at the time. Batch processing is going to be queried. The user may ask sometimes both the queries. So at the time it has to be managed. This Lambda architecture provides a robust system for collecting and processing the massive amount of data and the flexibility of being able to analyze the data at different rates. So there is a limitation is there for this type of architecture in the network due to the processing and storage count of many of these pieces. So the vast memory, the majority of these things are going to be deployment are either in the data centers or in the cloud. So to take that particular data and processing in the milliseconds, it is a difficult task.